Whittemore Prescott Elementary, welcome to today's Great Lakes Great Books bracket competition. Today we're going to be reading The Legend of the First Maple Sugar. Remember yesterday we read The Legend of Michigan, and so we have two legends kind of battling it out in our first round of competition in this 8-book competition that we've got going on. So yesterday's was a picture book, as you can remember. Today's is a little bit different because this is actually a story that is in the third grade textbook, social studies textbook, the Michigan history textbook that we use for our third graders here in the elementary school. So I went and borrowed a book from Miss Johnson's class and found this story in it and wanted to read it to you because although this story may not have happened in Michigan, we don't really know if it happened in Michigan for sure, but we do know that the legend came from a Native American tribe that lived here and in the surrounding Great Lakes region. And what I like most about this story is that it talks about how maple syrup was found first and maple sap. And so without further ado, we'll go into this legend. Now, again, legends oftentimes get passed down from generation to generation. And so in this instance, we don't necessarily have an author. This is just the retelling of a story that's been passed down through the Native American tribe for a number of generations. The Legend of the First Maple Sugar. What is a legend? A legend is an old story. Legends have been told over and over for a long time. A legend may have some make-believe parts. Let me tell you of a time from long ago. Come to Michigami, the land between the great waters. Springtime was beginning. The last of the snow had melted. Meet an Ojibwe boy called Wazajizik. He enjoyed helping his mother. He was too young to join the men when they went hunting. That would come later. Today, his mother asked him to bring water she needed for cooking. Their camp was far from the river. It was a long walk for a young boy. Still, Wazajizik liked walking through the woods. He didn't mind it. He watched the birds and listened for deer along the way. Wazajizik filled his birch bark container with water. It was now quite heavy. He could see camp when a rabbit jumped out across his path. He looked at the rabbit and tripped. He did not see a big tree root, and it caught his foot. He cried out in surprise. All the water spilled. He fell and hurt his knee. His mother heard him and ran to him. "Are you all right?" she asked. He ran to her, forgetting his container by the tree. Wazajizik said, "Yes, mother, I'm fine. I am so sorry I spilled all of the water you needed." "That is all right, son. We will have stew another night," his mother said. The next day, Laughing Water was walking in the woods. She saw her son's container where it rested against a big maple tree. It was almost half full of water. She said to herself, Wazajizik did not spill as much as he thought. She took it home and used it to make deer stew. As the stew cooked, it had a pleasing smell. She had never known her stew to smell like this. At that moment, her husband came home. He smelled the stew. He took a twig and got a sample and tasted it. A big smile came to his face. He smacked his lips and told Laughing Water how good it was. Now she tasted the stew. It was really good. She shared how Wazajizik left his container next to the maple tree. Maybe it had sap from the tree, not water as she had thought. Her husband told everyone in the camp about the sweet water from the maple tree. Now, when it's early spring, the Ojibwe gather the maple sap. They boil it down. They make maple sugar that they store in birch bark containers. Now they can enjoy a sweet treat all year long. That picture at the bottom is of a young boy checking in a wooden bucket that's hanging from what's called a spile, which is a tap that you put into the maple tree. And the caption reads, "Collecting maple sap and making maple syrup is still fun. It is something we have been doing in Michigan for a long, long time. If you have a chance to do it, think of the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi boys and girls who did it first." Hope you enjoyed today's Legend of the First Maple Sugar.